All right, let's talk about something real. Have you ever felt just lost? I don't mean what should I have for dinner lost. I'm talking about that deep, nagging feeling that you're meant for something more, but you have absolutely no clue how to find it. It's like you know there's a map to your best life somewhere, but you just can't find it. Well, in this explainer, we're going to tackle that exact feeling. We're going to explore a way to find your unique talent, especially when you feel completely and utterly stuck.
So it really all boils down to this one question, doesn't it? How do I awaken the voice within? You know that feeling. You're just kind of drifting, and you can almost hear this little voice inside you trying to tell you something important. But it's just muffled, right? Drowned out by all the noise of work and life and everything else. So the big question is, how do we finally turn up the volume on that voice?
Okay, let's dive in. You know that feeling, right, where you're kind of interested in everything, but also nothing at all? Your future just feels so blurry, like this big, messy cloud of ideas that never really takes shape. It is so frustrating. But believe it or not, there is a way to cut through all that fog. And it all starts with a really simple, but honestly profound shift in how you see things.
And here it is. This is the big shift. Your success is inside you, not outside. I mean, think about it. We're all taught to look for answers out there, right? We scroll through job sites, we ask our friends for advice, we read books. But the core idea here is that your success, it isn't something you go out and find. It's something you uncover. It's already in there, like a buried treasure just waiting for you to start digging.
So, okay, if this treasure is buried inside us, where in the world do we even start digging? Now, the first step, it's not what you think. It's not about picking a new hobby or making a 5-year plan. Nope. It's about a huge, radical shift in your mindset. And it all boils down to one powerful word: responsibility.
Yeah, this is it. Take 100% responsibility for your life. I know. It sounds a little bit cliche, maybe, but stick with me because this is profound. It means truly accepting that you are the pilot of your own life. Whether you soar or you stall, it's on you. And listen, this isn't about beating yourself up, not at all. It's about taking back the controls. The second you do that, the second you take full ownership, that's when you get the power to actually change your direction.
And a huge part of taking responsibility means you have to stop doing this. You have to stop blaming your parents, your circumstances, the world, even your bad luck. I mean, let's be honest, it's so easy to do, isn't it? It's our go-to move. But at the end of the day, these are just stories we tell ourselves. The moment you stop blaming everyone and everything else, you literally trade in the role of a victim for the power of a creator. You get to write the story now.
All right, so you've taken responsibility. Check. You've stopped playing the blame game. Check. So what's next? Well, now you have to quiet the noise. And I'm not just talking about the noise from the outside world. I'm talking about the static inside your own head, because that's the only way you're going to hear that inner voice. But how on earth do you find silence in a world that's just so loud? And this is such a key insight. You cannot defeat the mind with the mind. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you stop and think about it, right? We try to think our way out of overthinking. We analyze our anxiety. We strategize about how to stop worrying. But it never, ever works. It's exactly like struggling in quicksand. The more you fight your own thoughts, the deeper you sink into them. So if fighting your mind doesn't work, what do? You step aside. And that's where this idea comes in, the state of infinite possibilities. Now, this isn't some weird mystical thing you have to go to a mountaintop to find. It's actually really simple. It's just what happens when you stop wrestling with every single thought that pops into your head and you just become present. And in that quiet space, even if it only lasts for a second, that's where clarity shows up. That's where you get a glimpse of your real potential. And getting there is so much simpler than you think. In fact, let's just try it right now for a split second. Ready? First, just stop what you're doing. Second, take one good conscious breath. And third, just observe. Don't judge, don't analyze, just watch what's going on in your head. That's it. That simple little act, that's your first step out of the quicksand. Okay, so now we've got a way to quiet the mind. But there's still this big gatekeeper standing between you and your potential. And that's the ego. That constant nagging voice in your head that is completely obsessed with one tiny word, I.
Just think about a little kid for a second. They're totally in the moment, right? They'll dance, they'll sing, they'll build something crazy, and they don't give it a second thought because they're not self-conscious. But then as we grow up, we get caught in this I trap.
Our brains are just constantly going, how do I look right now? What are they going to think of me? Oh no, what if I fail? Every single thought gets filtered through that lens, and honestly, it just freezes us in place.
And this quote, man, this just completely flips the script on what we think of as self-improvement. We're always told the goal is to free the I, make it stronger, more confident, more successful. But the real goal, it's to be free from the I. It's about taking a step back from that narrator in your head who makes everything about you. I mean, just imagine looking at your own problems like they were happening to a friend. You'd see things so much more clearly, wouldn't you? You'd have that distance, that perspective.
Okay, so we've talked about responsibility, silence, escaping the ego, and you might be thinking, that's all great, but how does this actually help me pay my rent or deal with a tough relationship? Well, this is where it all gets super practical. We're going to look at a really simple but incredibly powerful framework for taking action.
This framework really simplifies things. Basically, every problem you have falls into one of two buckets. First, you've got your external problems, things like you have no money or you need a job. For those, the only answer is action, period. Sitting around thinking about it is useless. You have to go out there and try something 100 times if you have to. But then there's the second bucket, internal or people-based problems. This is stuff like a messy relationship or dealing with your own anger. For these, the solution is thinking. Why? Because you can't force other people to change. The only thing you have control over is your own mind, your own perspective.
So, as we wrap this up, it really all comes down to this one simple question for you. I want you to think about the biggest challenge in your life right now, whatever it is. Now, ask yourself, is this an action problem or is it a thinking problem? Because your answer to that, well, that's not just an answer, that's your starting line. It tells you exactly what you need to do next.